Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artorai.com. I have another craft haul for you today, but that's not all it is, so if you don't want to see what I've bought, just skip ahead to the tutorial. So I do have a couple more things from Temu. I can't remember what's in here. I ordered these a while ago and forgot about them. Oh yes, I remember these. This is a glass bottle, because I have heard sort of fairly recently, can't open this, that you're not supposed to put alcohol in plastic bottles because some of them don't take it very well or don't hold it very well, and it can actually cause them damage. So I bought a couple of glass bottles just so I can put alcohol in, just for cleaning up, because I always use alcohol in craft and I go through quite a lot of it, so I think that'll come in really handy. It feels pretty good quality as well. So I've got two of those. Got a couple of dies, a sentiment die, the nesting die set, and a glitter / embossing powder spoon. I always wanted one of those. And this is just a punch for punching out 1-inch squares. That will save me a lot of time when I'm making cards using scraps. That's it in there. And something else I got from Temu as well was some letter size card, because whenever I make cards, I would say 9 times out of 10 I'm going to be making the A2 cards, like the American A2 size cards, and that means I can only, if I use an A4 size, I can only cut out one card, which is why I've ended up with so many white scraps right about this size, because I keep having to just cut them down. I can only get one out of it, because the American A2 size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But I did buy some smooth cardstock from Temu, a letter size, but I have noticed that it's about 1/8 of an inch off. So what I've done is I saw another video, somebody recommended a website in the UK that sells letter size cardstock, 300 GSM. So I've ordered some of that. I've cut a few of these down to size, but I may have to adjust, because I know 1/8 of an inch doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be when you add in layers and things like that. It will be quite noticeable. So I mean, I'm still going to use it. I'm still pleased I bought it, because it's very, very smooth and it should be great for blending on and things like that. Right, I also bought some of this. I've always been wanting to try the Lunar Paste by Simon Hurley, and this is Slippery When Wet. It's a nice gold. Actually, I do have a little bit to show you about this, because I put it on some card. No, you can use it for stencils and things like that, but I spread a bit on some card and I used it to cut out a butterfly body for what I'm making later, and that turned out really nicely. I also bought some, I don't often buy Gina K stuff. I do have a few of hers because I think they're really, really good quality, and these are more for winter, but I wanted to get some really good quality stamps, and I think these were on offer, if I remember rightly. I think maybe because they're going out of season, I'm not sure. But her stuff is always really, really good quality, so I thought I would get one of those as well. Well, the stamp and die set to match. The rest is from Tonic Studios, the Nuvo brand, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favourites. So this is, well, it's a Harvest Cascade, a swirl of leaves embossing folder, but this, depending on the colours that you can use, this can be used for any time of the year, can't it? So I think that I love embossing folders, so that should come in handy. Another simple alphabet stamp set. I haven't used these much, but I did start using them when I made a card for someone in particular, and I could put their name on it. I use cutting dies for that, alphabet dies, but I think alphabet stamps would be good as well. And I think this is beautiful. I didn't get a die set with this. I don't even know if it comes with a die set, to be honest. A6 stamp set, and look at that beautiful rose there and all of the gorgeous sentiments. That's going to be lovely sort of for summer coming up as well, so I'm looking forward to using that. And I have no idea why I ordered more washi tape. I have more washi tape than I know what to do with. I can't understand why I've ordered that. I can't even remember doing it, but I guess it always comes in handy, doesn't it? Now, I do have plenty of blending tools, but I did want some good quality small brushes for when I'm using stencils. They're all different sizes, different shapes, and these I think will come in handy. So I'm going to give those a try. But this is what I wanted to highlight. So this is Nuvo Embellishment Mousse, and these are so versatile. When I saw them advertised, I think they were on offer, I can't remember, but there are loads and loads of different colours. But I thought I would just order a couple of them just to see how I'll go on, to see if I think I'll use them. And now that I have my new, I showed you this in an earlier video, my new collapsible cleaning bowl, I'm going to be more inclined to use stencils because everything's going to be a lot easier to clean. So this is what I want to highlight today. I'm going to do a little bit of a tutorial on using these and all the things you can do with them. I'm not going to be making a card today, but what I am going to do is show you a couple of cards that I have made using this. So the first thing you can do with them, wait a minute, I'll just get out my grip mat. This is from scrapbook.com. It's so strong, as you can see. Stronger than I am. Okay, make sure I got it the right way. So, like I say, the first thing you can use it for, or one of the things you can use it for, is stenciling. So a grip mat comes in really handy when you're stenciling. So just take out a stencil, put it down flat as you can. If you need to add low tack tape to tack it down, then obviously do that as well. So this is my Sizzix craft tool that comes with a spatula. Don't go there. Right, so I think I'm going to use the pink this time. I used the green last time, and it is quite thick, as you can see. And it is like a mousse, but it's a thick mousse, as you can see that. So I am going to hold this down in case it gets under the stencil, but it's very easy to apply. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I just want to show you the different things that you can do with it. So not only can you use it like that for a stencil, I'm going to put that in my dish. You can also paint it on. Oh, I must have a thicker brush than that. Just a minute. Yeah, you can paint it on as well. I haven't tried this yet, but apparently that's one of the things you can do. It would give much less dimension, I imagine. When you're using mousses and things like that for stenciling, always close them back up. Now, let's have a look at that. Oh, this grip mat is so strong. Right, so you can see there, that was with putting it on with a little palette knife, and that worked really nicely. This, I obviously haven't applied it as well as I could have, because I suppose if you like that kind of look, then that's up to you. But you can see there are two different ways you can apply it, and if I'd used a bit more pressure or put a bit more of the embellishment mousse on it, I would have got a better result. But that's what it looks like here when you use a palette knife. And what I will do is quickly show you a card that I made using this. That was this one. What colour is that? Powder blue. And this one is poppy pink. And all I did was put it on a background layer, cut it down, put a black layer behind it and a few embellishments, and that's what it looks like, and it dries really nicely. It doesn't come off or anything like that, so I thought that was really nice. You can clean your brushes in that thing as well. You can just scrape it along the texture bits on the bottom and then just give it a wipe, and that's that clean. That's my new favourite craft tool at the minute, that collapsible cleaning bowl. It's changed my crafting journey completely because I don't have to get up and down now to clean stuff, so pleased with that. So there we go. Right, and oh, before I forget, I should have done this straight away. Apparently you can clean this grip mat using a wet wipe. So oh yes, that's cleaning nicely, thank goodness. I thought it had dried on there. Oh yes, you can also use it like a gilding wax as well. So I'm going to get that embossing folder I showed you before, and I'm going to emboss some dark card if I can find some. So I have a piece of scrap card here, and I'm going to use my new embossing folder. Right. Oh, I think it's a 3D. Is that a 3D one? I can never tell the difference. I'm useless. Yeah, 3D embossing folder. You can tell because it's got, I should know it's a 3D one by now, but you can tell because it has different heights or different depths in the pattern. So I'm just going to pop this through. It's always a bit of an adventure sorting out the sandwich for embossing, especially 3D embossing folders. But I'm going to give it a try, see if I can get it right first time for once. So if you're using the Big Shot fold away, you've got the, what's this called? The standard platform, then the embossing folder, then one of the mats, and then a shim, that one. So let's see how that embossed. Oh, beautiful. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Lovely, really pleased with that. Right, as I said, you can also use this as a gilding wax. So you can just use your finger if you like, just get a tiny bit on and just go over the top of the pattern gently like that. You can be a bit more careful and just make sure that you only hit the actual embossed pattern. But I'm just putting this on quickly just to show you how you can use it. It's beautiful. It gives a lovely shine. I'm not going to do all of it because I'm not going to be making a card or anything with that. So let me just see if you can see the shimmer and the shine on that. That's beautiful. And to go with this, you can also use the mousse as to spatter with. So you just need to put a tiny little bit. I'll just clean out my palette knife. Right, so you can just get a tiny amount. You only need a very small amount. It's probably too much even. Water it down slightly. Not too much. Just get a brush, mix it up. Yeah, I put a bit too much water on there, but it should still work okay. And then just spatter. If you can see that. It's going to go all over me desk again. Took ages to clean it up last time. You think I would learn my lesson, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'll give that a good clean up when I get a chance. So you can see that you can use it for spattering as well, or splattering, or whatever you want to call it. And that'll give you a nice background to a card. I'll show you a card I made using that. So all I did with this was use it as a gilding wax, but I went all around the edges as well. I knew I wasn't going to have a matte layer for this background, but I didn't want it plain, so I just got my finger, put it into the embellishment mousse and just dotted it around there just to give it a bit of interest. And I didn't think it needed any decorations, any gems or anything like that, so I just put a sentiment on it and then just left it, and that was it. So that's the two cards that I made. You can actually also use it to watercolour as well. I'm just going to bring in something that I did with it earlier. This didn't go quite as good or quite as well as it should have, but you can see there that I've used the stencil on this little butterfly. I'll just quickly show you how I did that. Right, so this is a butterfly focal stencil from Waffle Flower. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now for this one, I coloured and stenciled first and then tried to die cut, which was a mistake because not only did it squash all of the embellishment mousse, it didn't cut out very well. So what I did for this one was cut it out first, obviously, and then stencil some colour on. And what I like about the Waffle Flower stencils is you can see that it writes on, or it engraves on there little marks, so you know exactly where to place the stencil. So if you're colouring the top ones, you can put it on there, and you can line it up with the bottom parts as well. and the same with the bottom part. You can line it up with the top bit so you always get it even. So I'm not going to do both of these, I'm just going to do the one just to show you how nice it looks. So again, just line it up as best you can, and this mat keeps it down beautifully. So I'm just going to take a blue and again my little palette knife. Right, so we just take a little bit of the mousse and just stencil over everything. You could, if you wanted, have a different colour down there, but I'm just going to do it all the same. Put any unused back in and remove your stencil carefully. Don't want to tear it. Oh yeah, that's lovely. And now I can put this in my little container as well for when I'm ready to clean that. So yeah, I mean, that isn't perfect at all, but you can see that it can be used to give texture to your die cuts as well, your stencil die cuts. And I cut this out using that Simon Hurley paste that I put on the card, and that will go on there like that and just give a really nice embellishment for my card or focal point. But like I say, I'm not really going to use anything that I've made today. It's just to practice and just to show you what you can do with that embellishment mousse. And it's so versatile. There are so many things you can do with it. I'm really, really pleased that I bought it. And I think I will, when I can find some spare room in my craft room, I think I will buy a few more of these. I have so many different colours. I'll see if I can find out the prices and put them in the description for you so you can have a look for yourself. But that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. Just a quick tutorial on using the embellishment mousse, and you can get some lovely backgrounds using them like that. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you've managed to stick to the end, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.